Daughters and sons of Hathor, how lovely to see you all this afternoon. Thank you for being here, because I know how warm it is and how you want to be in that lovely, warm, cool pool. Right about that. We appreciate it for you. In the beginning, well, what we're going to do, it says a little bit of the creation myth I used in the temple, which I created in the House of Life, because it demonstrates why the Mirror of Hathor is so important. And then each person is going to have an opportunity to come up and gaze into the mirror. Now remember, you're not necessarily going to see your reflection. What you're going to experience depends on you and your abilities as a magician priest or magician priestess. You might see a tarot card. You might see some runes. You might see some hieroglyphs. You might simply feel waves of emotion. Whatever you experience is your personal experience, which is why I have a notes page in your packet. And we're going to try to let everybody have a minute or two in front of it, and then when you return to your seat, if we have time, we can share. If not, we're going to come back by singing an Egyptian song of the goddess's name, which is very simple. I'll sing it for you now, so you just hear how simple it is. Had her red, 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 had her red. And we'll sing that in order to bring us back into this temple space, and then at the end we have a bit of refreshments, juice and cookies to help with people to ground if they need it. And we're going to try to give Linda 15 minutes between the time we break down the altar and she puts together for her presentation, which as I understand it directly follows this presentation. So we'll try to accommodate things as best we can. Yes, when you're up here visiting the mirror, after you hear the chime, which is your signal to leave, please pick up a packet of the incense on the plate. I made these for you. This is Hathor incense, which I make in the temple. It was made on the day of Hathor, in the hour of Hathor. So there's a little Kemet alchemy in here too. So there's one for each of you. So then let us begin, okay? In the beginning, there was only the earth. And the uncreated ones moved to and fro in the noon, and they, by their motion, created primal vibration. The primal vibration evolved into Re Atu Re, and Re Atu Re flowed into the center, and flowed into the center, and flowed into the center of the noon. And when he reached the center of the noon, in joyous, ecstatic expression, he brought forth Shu and Tefnut, and he separated the waters above from the waters below. The waters above he named Shu. The waters below he named Tefnut. And he climbed into the bark of the millions of billions of quadrillions of years, i.e. all the eternities that would ever be. And he put upon himself his white linen garment. And he put upon himself his 10 rings, and he put upon himself his royal minette collar, and he offered unto himself ma'at as an incense, and he breathed the ma'at in, and he vibrated and vivified and was empowered by the ma'at. While he was vibrating along through the moon came 2 single cells, which evolved into 2 tadpoles, which evolved into 2 frogs, who hopped into the bark of the millions of years, and became the oldest son Heket and his sister Heket. And they gave unto the Creator the 9 Hakua of creation, which he recited one at a time. When he came to the 10th phrase, he recited his own name, which had become new, for he was destined to evolve into Ra and Rod. And then he went into his shadows, spent and depressed, and lay low with the work of doing this beginning part of the creation. While he was in his shadows, Lord Tahuti and Ogdad, who had all come forth because of the speaking, began to work on what there was to work with. And it was in the shadows that he encountered Hathor carrying her magic mirror. Because she said, do not be depressed, do not be low of energy, do not be heavy of heart. Gaze upon what you will become. And Atum looked into the mirror, and he saw the first lotus, and he saw himself coming forth as Ra and Ra'at, and he saw that they would become a being so beautiful that their passage causes the light to shine. And so the Creator had courage, the Creator had will and strength, and the need to go on, because he could gaze upon the mysteries of Hathor in our imagination. And so this made Hathor a very powerful goddess. Look, I helped the Creator to come. And so very many pharaohs had her image behind, with the arm on the shoulder, to show that Hathor approves of this pharaoh to do the work that pharaohs are called to do. And so this is what makes the Mirror of Hathor so important. We'll just go around the room, so come up and look upon the mirror, and when you hear the chime, take up your packet of incense, and then go back to your seat. Take any flat stone, any polished stone, any mirror, any of these little Ankhamun mirrors that people have, and consecrate it into a mirror of Hathor. Any flat stone. Doesn't have to be as large as this, but any stone, any polished stone. Doesn't have to be onyx. Whatever stone resonates for you.
This is obsidian.
That's obsidian. It can be obsidian, it can
Michael,
be onyx.
can I just, yeah, there we
It
go.
can be any material, quartz, emerald, ruby, sapphire, whatever you happen to come across. Had her red, 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 Thank you all very much. That concludes this presentation.